I'm Anxiety. I am just such a huge fan of yours.
Inside Out 2 is definitely Disney's best movie of the year so far.
That was good.
But did you catch all the various little details and even references to other Pixar films in this sequel about Riley and her emotions?
She goes away for 3 days and all we get is good?
Bing Bong. For example, one of the little details that most people who watched the movie didn't notice was that our beloved and heroic Bing Bong makes a special appearance. That's because he's the little figurine that Joy keeps next to her lamp, which you can see on her bed just before the puberty button starts going crazy in the girl's mind. If you look closely, you'll notice that the little figurine of the emotions leader has a small trunk and wears a jacket, just like Bing Bong. A beautiful homage to Riley's imaginary friend who sacrificed himself so that joy and sadness could return to headquarters and save the girl. Watch more details and Easter eggs from this incredible film with us now.
I barely touched it.
Pizza Planet. In that same scene where we spot Joy's Bing Bong figurine, if you look a bit to the side, you'll notice a dresser full of little things. If you zoom in and look closely, one of the items there is a miniature of the famous Pizza Planet delivery car. Certainly one of Pixar's most famous Easter eggs.
Wow.
Binoculars. There's also a nod to Pixar's biggest animation franchise in Inside Out 2. If you've seen the movie, you'll remember Joy handing Sadness a blue pair of binoculars at one point. What few people know is that these binoculars are Lenny, one of Andy's toys that made a few appearances in the Toy Story franchise, especially when Woody or Buzz needed to see something far away. The difference is that Joy and Sadness's binoculars don't have eyes like Lenny's.
Look, it's Woody and Buzz coming up fast!
Still, it's a really cool reference. Inside Out 2 is, believe it or not, the 28th film made by Pixar. And that's exactly why that's the same number stamped on Riley's hockey team jersey. Actually, Inside Out would have been the 29th film, but Elio got delayed, making it the 28th. It's definitely a subtle detail, but we caught it, Pixar.
Thank you.
Excitement. But that wasn't the only reference to another Disney movie in Inside Out 2. For example, there are some nods to Turning Red, which came out in 2022 and also tells the story of a teenager going through some big changes. The first reference we'll mention is when Riley's emotions come together and shout, "Awooga!" This is pretty much the same thing Mai Lee does and says when she transforms into a giant red panda and visits the store where Devin, the boy she likes, works. Which leads us to our next Easter egg.
Awooga!
But before we get to that, if you're a fan of Inside Out, show us some love and comment below #Riley. 4Town. Disney practically confirmed that Inside Out and Turning Red are part of the same Pixar universe. This becomes evident when Riley is seen listening to music with her headphones, referencing a scene where Mai Lee does the same in her film. It's likely that both are big fans of the same music groups and teenage songs. There's even a small boy band poster hanging in Riley's room. Vault. In the scene where the emotions convince Bloofy, the little dog with a fanny pack, to blow up the vault door, if you pause at the right moment, you'll see an inscription above him that reads ACXIII. Interestingly, this is Pixar's oldest Easter egg because if you consider these letters as Roman numerals and convert them, you get A113. It's one of the few references that appear in all Pixar films, referring to the classroom where Pixar's main animators studied and learned to create the graphics animations we love.
Okay, I admit it, we had a rough start, but think of all the good things
No,
that—
Joy.
Rainbow shirt. If you're a fan of Inside Out, you'll definitely remember Riley's colorful shirt when she first arrived in San Francisco. It's probably her all-time favorite shirt because we see her trying to wear it again in the sequel. The problem is that Riley has grown a bit in these 2 years, and maybe, just maybe, the shirt shrunk a bit after a few washes.
Guys, you're overreacting.
More emotions. You'll also recall that her shirt represents the 5 main emotions with their colors and the stripes, plus Anxiety's orange. So, the orange emotion has always been there. Also, the fact that the shirt is now short shows that Riley really needs more emotions, especially now that she's growing up. Clearly, all these new emotions are really necessary, and that's a Pixar hint. Orange everywhere. Speaking of colors, we all know Anxiety stands out among Riley's new emotions. The film makes this clear in several moments. For example, Val's lockers are all orange, just like the hat of the girl leaning against them. Even the details on Riley's hockey team uniform are the same color. Plus, the couch where Riley sits with her friends during camp also shares the same hue. Piano. When the demolition team reaches the emotions headquarters, they turn the place into chaos, representing puberty more or less. Among the many things we have no idea how they got there is a piano. It's the same piano Joe from Soul uses to play his beautiful tunes. I like that one, it's quite a recent reference. If you've made it this far, you're definitely a fan of animated movies and shows, just like us. So you should definitely subscribe to our channel to not miss our upcoming videos.
Just a dream, it's just a dream, it's just a dream.
Puberty sign. When Riley's old emotions wake up because of the puberty button being pushed, as we mentioned, the girl's headquarters is completely changed and new things emerge, like the piano. But one of the coolest things that appears and stays in the girl's mind for a while is a sign in the corner that says puberty is messy, showing that what they went through in the middle of the night was just a hint of what was to come. At least the demolition team left that clue. They can't complain about that. Dad's memories. If there's one thing we all wanted to know and ended up without an answer to, it was where the new emotions were in adults' minds during the first movie. So, if you haven't seen Inside Out 2 yet, we'll warn you that there's nothing about that there. But we do see anxiety, now with a mustache, also appearing in Riley's dad's mind, which didn't happen in the first film. What's interesting is that he seems to have been there for a while, because if you look at the memories next to the control panel, many of them are completely orange, showing they stem from his anxiety. Others are mixed, like one that's orange and red, mixing anxiety and anger. Hidden secret. When the emotions are suppressed by anxiety with the help of embarrassment, they're placed in a kind of glass jar along with other memories Riley tries to hide from everyone. One of them is Bloofy, the childhood cartoon puppy our protagonist still finds cute. The other is Lance Slashblade, the game character Riley still finds cool. But besides these two, there's another huge and dark secret hidden in the corner. It appears at this moment in the film, but if you had the patience to stay until the end and watch the post-credit scenes, you'd see her return to the vault trying to get the mysterious secret out. But she fails, only to discover it's a memory of when she burned a rug in her parents' house or when she peed in the pool. Or both. And that was a big embarrassment for the girl, even after all these years. So much so that the secret insists on staying in the vault in the end. Fingers. Many people didn't notice, but among all the emotions, envy, the smallest one, is the only one with 4 fingers. This was intentional by Pixar's designers to show that even though she has everything she wants, she'll always feel like something essential is missing that she'll never have. A 5th finger. I have to admit, that was very cleverly thought out. Jordan. When the emotions enter Riley's imagination land, a place we knew from the first movie when Bing Bong was guiding sadness and joy, we see something completely new. We see a parody of Mount Rushmore, which has the faces of 4 US presidents carved into it. But in Riley's mind, the faces of the boys she has or has had a crush on, real or not, are carved there. And we notice Jordan among them, as one of the carved faces, alongside 2 other boys, and, of course, Lance Slashblade, who seems to have been the last one carved by Riley's mind workers, judging by the scaffolding. I didn't see that coming. But we certainly can't complain about how Inside Out 2 turned out, as it really is one of the best Disney Pixar films of recent times, no doubt. If you agree, you probably also enjoy Disney films and animations, so we're leaving 2 very cool videos for you to check out, exclusively chosen for you. Click on whichever one you think is best and keep having fun with us. You'll definitely enjoy them a lot.